Welcome to O'Reilly's. Hey, I need some oil and a filter for an Escalade. Oh, really? Yeah, it's a 2021. I'm not sure what filter it takes. Oh, really? Yeah, it's a new car. This is my first time changing the oil. I'm not really sure. Oh, really? So are you going to be able to help me or... Oh, really? If you can't help, that's fine. I can just go down the street to AutoZone. Oh, really? Okay, I'm gonna go. Oh, really?
Did you not get the oil?
No, man, there's something seriously wrong with that guy in there.
Oh, really?
So this is my Cadillac Escalade that many people now hate because I blacked out the emblem. Apparently there's a lot of people out there attached to the Cadillac emblem and they didn't like the fact that I did this, but it's not what we're talking about today. Today we're going to be changing the oil on it, and I know it's time to change the oil because the car told me so. It used to be back before synthetic oils were common. I would religiously change the oil every 3,000 miles in my car. Then synthetic oils came out, changed that to every 5,000 miles. And then cars got smarter and they just tell you when the oil needs to be changed. So we just got a notification our oil life is getting to the end of its life, and so today we're going to change the oil. Now today's video is going to serve two purposes. Number one, I suspect there's not a lot of Escalade owners out there who change their own oil, but maybe they want to, so this will be kind of a how-to for them. And number two, a few videos back I mentioned that the girl at the Escalade dealership, whenever we were buying the Escalade, she told us that if we changed the oil wrong, we could void our warranty. She was trying to sell us an oil change package. I'm pretty sure it was just a sales tactic, but that's out there. So today's gonna be a documentation, if you will, of how I changed my oil, and at the end, y'all can tell me whether or not I voided my warranty. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna warm up the car a little bit. You want your engine oil to be warm, not necessarily scalding hot, but warm is good. It helps the oil flow out of the engine. So we're gonna let this warm up for maybe 5 minutes or so, and while we're doing that, we're actually gonna do one other thing before we get to changing the oil. So under this ride height setting right here, this car has a lowering feature, so when you get out of the car, it lowers it down. We've got this turned on right now, so we're gonna turn it off so the car stays at its standard ride height. It'll make it a little bit higher off the ground and easier to get under it and change the oil. So we're gonna go back up. Actually, you know what? We're gonna go to increased ground clearance, and we're gonna see if the car stays up at that height or not. I have no idea if this is gonna work or not, but we're about to find out. All right, we've been running for a few minutes now. Oil should be warm. We're going to turn the car off and see if it stays at this increased ground clearance or not. I think it's staying up. There's a chance that we get under there and it just starts lowering on us, but we'll give it a few minutes to make sure that's not gonna happen. All right, so pop the hood, open it up, and let's find out where things are. I really have no idea where they are. So here is our oil fill tube. You can see that it takes 0W20. Got our oil dipstick on the opposite side for checking our oil level once we get to that point. So the oil capacity on this Escalade is 8 quarts. We're probably not going to use all 8 because you never really get every little drop out, but we have 8 just in case we need it. We also have an official GM AC Delco oil filter. Part number is PF63. So with all those parts, I don't think we've voided our warranty just yet. And we've got our oil drain plan and socket set that are not GM approved, and there's a leaf in there, but I think we'll be fine. And the car has not started lowering itself yet after many minutes, so we're gonna get under here and find what we need to find. Well, right away we can see the oil filter is right there. Then the oil pan is right next to it, and there's our drain plug right on the bottom. So we're gonna get our drain pan under here, loosen that drain plug, and start draining out the oil. And this is the part where you wanna grab some paper towels, because no matter how hard you try, you're gonna get covered in oil. Looks like our drain plug is the 15mm variety, so we are going to crack that off. God, that exhaust is hot. Loosen it up. Yep, oil's warm. A little too warm. And while our oil is draining, we're gonna prep our oil filter by putting a little bit of oil all along the rim here. That helps it come off later whenever we want it to come off. And whenever we go to get our oil filter off the Escalade, I've got a medium-sized oil filter wrench here that seems to fit it well, so we'll be using that. So there's been a few minutes at this point and our oil is just barely dribbling out now, so we're going to put our drain plug back in. And we're going to tighten it about yay tight. I'm pretty sure that's a technical GM torque spec. Yay tight. We're going to get our oil filter off and not touch the hot exhaust. Make sure we've got our new one ready to go, because there's probably going to be some oil coming out of this. Yeah, there you go. Now I think I need a bigger oil change pan, because this is getting really full. Pull the oil filter off. New oil filter. Loosely on. Gonna get rid of this guy. Clean this up a little bit. Then we're going to tighten our oil filter by hand until it's snug. And then just a little bit more to seal it. If you use an oil filter wrench to tighten it, you're probably never getting it off. That's it for under the car. And then we're going to take our GM approved funnel that I did not purchase when I was in college for the purpose of chugging beer, and start putting in our oil. So we're going to start with this full 5-quart jug, and we'll start checking it after that to see how much we need to add. So we've given our oil a moment to settle down. We're going to pop out the dipstick, clean it off, put it all the way back in, and see that we need to add more oil. Another quart down the hatch. Still need more. Another quart. So we're up to 7 quarts now, so we should start to see some indication of oil on the dipstick now. If you don't, that means you probably didn't put your oil drain plug back in or your oil filter back on. Yeah, so it looks like it may actually be full. Check again. So we are somewhere around half or 3/4 of the way up that hash mark there on the dipstick. So we're just gonna add a tiny bit more until we get to the top of it, and then we're done. All right, so we're up to 7.5 quarts now. We're up to the very top of the hash mark there. We are done. And with every oil change, I like to add a bottle of rear main seal repair. That way it keeps your rear main seal in good working order. So you just pour that right in with the oil. And I'm totally kidding, like never do that. That's how you void your warranty. Close her up. The last few steps here are to start the car. Check to make sure we have oil pressure. So we're gonna go to vehicle information. Got 45 PSI. We're gonna look underneath the car and make sure nothing's spewing out, which I don't see anything. That's just our oil stain from changing the oil. And then we're going to go back and reset the oil life indicator. So to do that, you just touch it and hit reset. Yes, I do. 100%, there you go. The car is finally lowering itself after I started at that time. So this is actually the most challenging part of changing your oil. We're going to very carefully pour our used oil back into this jug so we can take it back to a release for recycling. Carefully. I think the rule is something like if you sell oil, you have to take it back and recycle it. So it's something like that anyways. It probably varies by state, but we'll take this back to the auto parts store. We'll take the oil filter back too. They recycle those and we'll be good to go. So that's it for today. I think we proved that you can change the oil in your Escalade without voiding your warranty, or at least I think so. Y'all let me know down in the comments what you think. Did I void my warranty or not? It's kind of a shady practice by the dealer, like discouraging people from working on their own cars, but whatever. So until next time, I think I'm gonna do a little light off-roading in the Escalade because this is the wife's car. She's out of town, and well, how often is it that you get your own off-road park in your front yard? That just void my warranty? Cadillac fans are not gonna like this. I just used the used oil filter box to take a picture and it, oh my God, we got oil on the Escalade.
Oh, you can't see my beautiful face. Is it wider than it looks on the little, oh, okay. Are we playing with the window? We like playing with the window.
Hang on, let me disable his window real quick.
Well, we're learning how the window works. Up, down.
No man, there's something seriously wrong with that guy in there.
Oh, really? I laughed. I feel like I shouldn't laugh.
He doesn't know the punchline yet.